Hello, welcome to a Patreon exclusive behind the scenes video that I promised I would do weeks ago, a month ago, and I just kind of forgot about. Apologies, I've been juggling a lot in the background. But anyway, we're going to go over how I have riced my Linux install for the, few Linux people who follow this channel. So, what is ricing? Let's go ahead and start off with that just in case it's been long enough to where you forget what that means. Ricing is basically customizing, this is not how Fedora Linux normally comes, and so I just wanted to go over my specificities in how I run my system, because some people care about that, I guess. So, I guess, obviously, the first thing we can talk about is the taskbar down here. Now, I'm pretty particular with my taskbar. It needs to have a certain functionality. It needs to have a certain amount of stuff on it. It needs to, be a specific way. Just because that is... I'm just particular about that kind of thing. And so I have all my programs labeled down here, all the frequently used programs that I use all the time. So you're starting off with the terminal over here, system monitor, screen capture utility. Now that's important. I like taking screenshots occasionally, so just having that available on the taskbar is nice to have. System settings, always nice to have. Carla. Now, if you don't know what Carla is, it is the, you can see the OBS thing right here, and here's another OBS thing over here, and there's some broken lines you can see down here. But, okay, Carla is, I'm using it as a patch bay. So this will allow me to go into my, my jack or my ALSA or my Pulse Audio or the whatever it is, and we're going to just specifically patch things in. It is what I wanted Pulse Audio to be. So if I were to go into the terminal and try to find... Oh, by the way, let me actually go ahead. Here. Let me throw this over here. There you go. You get to read that while I try to find this other command that I've been trying, that I did a while ago. Where'd it go? There's all my FFmpeg commands. Here we go. So if I wanted to use this command right here, let me just go ahead and zoom in a little bit. If I wanted to use this command right here, this is a Pulse Audio command. Now, Fedora Linux uses Pipewire, so it is a different audio subsystem. And because I'm using Pipewire, I can use Carla to get into the patch bay here. So I've got some stuff, some lines are broken, that's just, well, I mean, this is normal. Oh, no, Carla crashed. Uh-oh. Oops. That's what I get for using the stable Fedora distro. Hoo hoo hoo. Anyway, so what do we got going on here? Yes, patch bays. I get to do patch bay stuff. So let's use this command right here. And there we go. We have a virtual audio sync for specifically labeled for Discord audio. So whenever I have Discord launched, there will be another little node on this screen that I can use to specifically patch Discord into its own little virtual audio sync. I don't have a way to make that, I don't exactly have a way to make Discord, to make this audio sync permanently be attached, and I don't really have a way to output it. I mean, I could use this. I'm sure I could figure out a way to make this work, right? I'm positive that there's a way for me to make this work in the way I want it to. I just haven't actually put that time into making this work. For now, I'm totally okay with... just making temporary audio syncs and then patching things through before I start recording. It works, I recorded the last MineZ video with separated audio. I also made another one specifically for the Minecraft launcher, so I was only recording Minecraft audio and Discord audio and my own audio, which was very nice. So that's not really, that's convenient, I like using Carla. It is a good bit of kit. I'm just gonna go ahead and minimize it. It's a good bit of kit for Linux audio for my specific use case. And because we're using KDE Plasma, let's go ahead and go back down to the taskbar. Because we're using KDE Plasma, we're going to be using the Discover package manager. I probably could be using Synaptic or whatever the fuck. I really don't care. Discover's fine. I don't have any major gripes with it. I haven't gotten too particular about my about my GUIs for my package managers or whatever. Because Fedora uses DNF, and I really don't know what does and doesn't work for it. So I'm just going to go with what's already pre-installed, and it'll work out just fine. Same with Dolphin, which is ironic. Oop, that's my downloads tab. Whatever. So, same with something like Dolphin. I'm not really too particular about file browsers or file explorers and stuff like that. I know people have very specific gripes about Dolphin, but as you can see, I have added both the open in terminal button and the refresh button, just because I like having those on the side. Specifically when I'm like browsing through my footage. Like if we go down here into footage, the way that I record stuff is I need to record my audio first, and then I need to separate it to the linear PCM audio codec. If you want more information about that, I've already made a video about that whole thing. So it's going to be in the behind the scenes tab on the Patreon page, so you can go ahead and watch that and read that and do whatever you want with that. But yes, so I do have all my footage labeled here, and then I can just go ahead and open this page in the terminal, see footage, and then I can do my FFmpeg commands from there. I know that there's like a GUI that I can do, or like a script I could write for it, but like I'm too used to doing it manually. One of these days I'm gonna get tired of doing it manually, and I'll develop a script for it, but whatever. DaVinci Resolve is just, it's the best one that I got for right now. I have a lot of specificities because I'm using DaVinci Resolve, and that mostly comes from, that's where my FFmpeg commands come from, is because DaVinci Resolve does not support H.264 or H.265 audio codecs, or just H.264, H.265 in general, even on the paid version. Well, no, on the paid version it supports it, but on the free version it doesn't. There's so many specifics about running DaVinci Resolve. I've made it work, right? I wish something like Olive or Filmora or Kdenlive, I wish those programs were on the same level as DaVinci Resolve, but they're not. I would happily switch over to them if I could, but DaVinci Resolve is the best in the business right now, especially for, it's the best in the business for Linux. So I'm kind of stuck with it, but it's nowhere near as bad as Adobe. So at the very least, it's better than Adobe because you only need to buy it once, and you don't need to subscribe to some stupid bullshit scam to use it correctly. OBS, obviously, like this is just, oh, you can see the fucking mirror. Ooh. So OBS obviously is like, it's the best streaming tool for any system, not just Linux. It's the best for everybody. So highly recommend OBS if you're looking to start recording or streaming or doing any sort of content creation on Linux, even on Windows, honestly. OBS is just like one of your best tools that you could ever have. So yeah, that's very apparent. GIMP. I got GIMP down here. It's just a light Photoshop. I say light. It can do pretty much everything that Photoshop can do. It's just everything is laid out differently. I've gotten used to it, and I'm able to, make all my thumbnails and all my backgrounds and stuff like that with GIMP, and it works. So I don't really have much to say about it. And then we have the basic programs. We got Steam, obviously. We got Discord, obviously, and we got Vivaldi. I've chosen Vivaldi as my web browser. I chose that many, many, many moons ago, and I'm just stubborn, and I don't want to switch to anything else. Like I could have switched to Brave, or I could switch to fucking the Tor browser or whatever. I'm not going to do that. I don't care. But here's actually a couple things up here. Now, I actually have gotten a little bit of flack from some people in the past, Jamian, for having icons and stuff on my desktop. So there are people out there who believe that the desktop is not for putting things for later or having things on your desk like you would a traditional desk. No, the desktop should be clean and free from anything at all times, and it never should be used for a temporary holding space for things like a real desk would. No, clear. Fuck that. I'm gonna put some stuff on here. I wish I had the trash can thing. I wish I had a trash can on my desktop. That would be really nice, but I guess I've just gotten around not using it. Whatever. I got Dolphin and MGBA. Those are the two emulators that I use the most right now. I haven't gone into Citra yet because I had to wipe my entire Pop! OS system to install Fedora and make that work. But don't worry, I've backed up everything on my Pop! OS install, and that is being stored on 3 different servers, 2 different formats. That's a ping from Discord. You probably, no, that definitely came through. That's a ping from Discord, so we know that Discord works. But I backed up everything, so I haven't lost any data, so I can still get like my Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate saves and stuff like that, which I do need to copy over. But Citra will sit very nicely right here next to MGBA. And the only reason I have MGBA up here is because I'm currently playing Pokemon Emerald. Anyway, I've also got a couple pieces of art here just temporarily. I'll put them in their correct places later, but for now I just have them on my desktop. I'll clean that up later. Like, my desktop isn't exactly dirty or anything. And you can also see that I have specifically chosen the wibbly-wobbly windows of KDE. And I've chosen like fancy little desktop effects and everything because they look fancy. And I've got a powerful computer, so I'm gonna run these fancy desktop environments. Damn it. We have the little things down here like the notifications tab, little Discord, OBS Studio, just let me know that it's running. Private internet access is my VPN of choice. Thank you, Dad, for paying for it. Bluetooth stuff, internet stuff, volume, minimize all windows. So there is a thing that I ran into a while ago. Or not a thing that I ran into. So there was a little bit of a schism, I guess, when Linus was doing his Linux challenge a while ago, and he complained that the default KDE desktop, this button, instead says show desktop, which he said was a very stupid thing, and it should, because like when you hit the show desktop button, it'll bring all your windows away and show your desktop, right? But if you click anything, it'll bring all the windows right back where they were. Some people like it, some people don't. I don't like it, but the option does exist to hit minimize all windows instead of show desktop, so you can bring up a single window on its own. Like here, watch, I'll bring OBS into the frame here, and I'll open up Steam. And I'll bring that over here. Oh man, the Festival of Video Games, I don't care. All right, so I'm gonna hit minimize all windows, and now I could just click the same button again to bring everything back to the way it was, or I could just hit console or terminal or whatever, and that's the only window that's up right now. So I much prefer the double utility of the minimize all windows as opposed to show desktop, and I guess Linus didn't know about that because... Here we go, let's enter configuration mode. Oh wait, no, hold on. Oh, there it is, enter edit mode. So you can go in and you can change the height of, if you didn't know anything about KDE Plasma, you can adjust the height of your taskbar. You can put your taskbar on the top of the screen, the left of the screen, the right of the screen, whoever cares. I know some people like it on the top of the screen. I don't, I like it on the bottom. And widgets are a big thing. So that's the main thing that I'm proud of in this install. Here, let me go ahead and add another screen capture here. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Whoop. All right. So the other monitor is sitting right here. We'll just go ahead and we'll make this bigger. And then we'll move this over here. So, here's my other monitor. Wow, I got a bucket head thing over here. So, specifically on my second monitor, you can adjust... Oh yeah, by the way, I should also bring up the little Wiimote pointer, because I can only get that on KDE Plasma. I'm sure it exists elsewhere, but whatever. Taskbars are exactly the same on both screens. I like it that way. But the only difference between the ultra-wide and the 16:9 monitor is that down here... we have total CPU use. I need to relabel that to say CPU temperature, GPU usage, and GPU temps. So I have my usages and my temperatures labeled at all times. And the reason why I have it specifically on the 16:9 screen as opposed to the 21:9 screen is because I play games on the 16:9 on the 21:9 screen with the, you know, fancy refresh rates and everything. You know, I play my games over here on this monitor, so I'm not going to be able to see my taskbar at all times because I'm going to run games at full screen. But if I'm looking at my other monitor, I can just quickly glance over to the left a little bit and see the system monitor readouts over there. So that is my reasoning for having here. Let's just go ahead and re-see this. So that's my reasoning for having it only on my secondary monitor. And I don't know if this exists on Windows. I just straight up don't. But when I discovered that this setup could exist on Linux, oh, I fell in love with it. It's so good. Same notification thing as every, the taskbar is the same on both monitors, minus the little readouts right here. Those readouts, oh, such a godsend. Such a fucking godsend for me. Oop, that is the wrong monitor. There we go. I'm doing all this live, by the way. I could do a lot of this stuff in editing, but I feel like it's more real this way. What else is there? Favorite applications. I should add Minecraft to my desktop or something, but it's fine having it just right here. Dolphin and MGBA are also here. I want to add, so it goes in tiers, right? Taskbar are programs and things like that I want to have access to at all times. Every single second, I want to be able to just click the thing and bring it up, which is why I fucking hated GNOME for that, where you have to press the goddamn super key to bring up the dock, and it's like, why? Just let me see my things at all times. And then we have another layer down where you can have you can bring up the super key to bring up lesser used but still important programs like Telegram, or my writer program, or Dolphin or MGBA, or my screensaver settings, or Minecraft or whatever. Like, this is where this stuff goes, a layer down. And then, you have everything else labeled, right here with all this stuff, like fucking KDE Partition Manager. I don't need access to KDE Partition Manager all the time. So I just leave it where it is. DaVinci, I've got so much DaVinci Resolve shit. That's what you get for running proprietary software, though. Yeah, so you have, like, the desktop is also technically a layer down. I would consider the desktop and this layer to be the same layer, right? Because there are going to be times where you're running a program and the program is going to be blocking your desktop. So you're not always going to be it's not exactly like within like arm's reach, but you can lean over a little bit and get your arm right there to grab it. It takes a little bit more effort, but it's still always there. And that's the same way I feel about the start menu, favorite applications, stuff like that. Is there anything else? I mean, I brought up I don't know why my Wii pointer thing. Oh, there it is. Okay. I obviously have the Wii pointer stuff going on. The Wii pointer mouse, because it is funny. I like the Wii pointer mouse. Sometimes it doesn't show up entirely, which I don't understand why, but it's fine. I've also got a few other settings that I've done. Dark settings, obviously. I mean, I guess we can go to the thing that I've spent the most time on, which is just appearance. I haven't really done too much with it. All of this just comes down to personal preference and what I just like the look of at that specific time. Fonts I haven't changed because I don't really care that much about. Icons I haven't changed either because I don't really care. The only reason I went with the Breeze ones is because they also change with the color that I've chosen. I chose a very specific seafoam green color as like my highlight, and so when I go with the Breeze icons, you can see down here the Dolphin logo has changed color to match it, and if I go into Dolphin, all the folders are this nice dark green color, and it fits really nicely with this like darkish bluish, like this grayish bluish color that I've got in the background. Like, it all fits, right? Like, I've color coded things to look good, right? Then we have cursors, obviously. I mean, there's this one where the cursor is tilted a little bit, and I don't think I like that as much. I know it is more realistic to how you would actually hold a Wii Remote in real life. Maybe I'll stick with it for a little bit. I'm gonna stick with it for a little bit just to see. Launch feedback, whatever. Font management, fonts, yeah, whatever. Splash screen. Here's another one that I actually found really funny. Let's see if this will actually play. I really hope that OBS is picking this up. You don't see this very often. Here, hold on. Let me just Oh, it did. Good. Okay. It absolutely did pick up the skeleton thing. So, you don't see the splash screen very often, and people don't really pay attention to the splash screen, which, fair enough. I don't blame you for that. But I was just looking through just to see if anything funny was there, And yeah, I saw this little skeleton just waiting for the computer to come on, and I'm like, you know what? Perfect. I have to do that now, just because it's funny. So, you know, people turn on your computer and see all that stuff, and it's like, oh, there's a little skeleton. You don't see it for very long, because my computer does not take that long to boot up anymore, ever since I switched off of Windows. Even off of Pop! OS. Like, Pop! OS, for whatever reason, just was super, super slow comparative to when I first started using it. But I did quite egregiously fuck up that Pop! OS install, so I'm not really too upset about that, which is why I switched over to Fedora. Got a fresh start, a clean slate. I know a little bit more of what's going on. I got a better idea of how to properly manage a Linux installation, so you know, it all works. I think that's everything. I mean, I could go into like my audio drivers. I don't know. I'm using a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. You know, that I'm using that for my headphones and for the microphone that you're currently listening to. But all that stuff goes into like my hardware that I use to make videos, and I've already made a video about that, so whatever. We're getting into like the nitty-gritty of Linux stuff and how I've customized my install to fit more me. And obviously we have the backgrounds. I guess we can talk about that. Berserk. I recently got into Berserk. Very good. Highly recommend it. Not for everybody though. Very much not for everybody, but still very good. I'm only on, what is it, volume 4 at this point. I just started the Golden Age arc, so you know that's not too far into it, but I still have enjoyed what I've read. And we had the Buckethead. We have the Buckethead wallpaper that we have on the other screen. Which, here's a really fun fact. I took this picture. Yeah, I went to a Buckethead concert at House of Blues in Texas. And yeah, this was one of the pictures that I took at that event with my fucking phone, my Galaxy Note 8, and I've just been really happy with how this picture turned out. So I use it for my background, for my background occasionally. And it's just like a nice dark blue, purplish kind of vibes to it. You can see House of Blues, you can see Buckethead there. And it's just, I like it. I like it. If you want, I mean, I could post it on the Buckethead subreddit or something, or post it on Patreon. So if you want it, be my guest. It works well with 21:9 monitors, I've found. Which here, let me just go ahead, configure desktop and wallpaper, apply. See, there you go. I feel like that fits really nicely in a 21:9 aspect ratio, because the actual aspect ratio of the image itself, I don't exactly know what it was. But it was of like a full screen cell phone capture. So it's pretty wide. You can see that it's pretty wide. So you can use that on whatever. And then Berserk. I wanted a Berserk wallpaper. And then we have all the default Fedora. And then we got a couple like from Nordic and from Dracula, whatever. And I don't use any of those. I like having my own wallpaper. I'm still a bit upset that Wallpaper Engine is not supported on Linux, but I'm sure that there's an alternative that I could be using, but I just haven't put in the time to make it happen. I know all my edits are pretty basic, but I have specific reasons why I want what I want and why I went for what I went for. So yeah, this has been, I guess this is the end of the video. You know, I've gone over pretty much everything. You guys can see the NeoFetch. You guys saw what programs I use on my taskbar down here, like why I have stuff on the desktop, the notifications and stuff like that, and why everything's set up here the way it is, just because I like it that way. The widgets on the other monitor, stuff like that, you know, just very, very, very basic settings. But I did promise I'd make a video about this, so I don't want to completely forget about it, because I've already forgotten about it too much. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for being a Patreon supporter, the $5 tier specifically, because you guys are going to be the only ones who gain access to this video. Yeah, thanks for being so supportive. It really means a lot to me. All right, have a good one.